And joining us this morning, former Jasper County Sheriff Billy Rowles. Sheriff Rowles, welcome to Houston's Morning News. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, Matt. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you. Listen, we are talking about forgiveness, first of all. My question to the audience, Sheriff, is how can anyone, and I'm talking about Betty Boatner, who is a saint to me, who has forgiven the man that killed her brother. I mean, she has said that she indeed forgives Brewer for what he did. You've talked to Brewer, who has no remorse. Were you surprised by this, Sheriff, that he is not remorseful at this point?
Man, I can't imagine spending 13 years in one of those cement sales and having to reflect on every day why you were there, and eventually not having some type of remorse. It just goes to show you that man is nowhere near what you and I are. They're not normal.
Now, Sheriff, do you think, like Betty Boatner, that you could forgive a man that committed a horrific crime against a member of your family? Would that be something you'd be able to do, do you think?
Oh, that would be tough. I'm a Christian, and that's what the good Lord says we're supposed to do, but sometimes his what he wants us to do is tough, and that would be a tough one for me. I would like to think that I could.
Yeah, I think we all would like to think that we could, Sheriff, but I've admitted to this audience this morning it would be very, very difficult for me as well, just knowing how this crime took place. This was a horrific crime. I would assume, Sheriff, that this was a crime scene unlike anything you had ever seen before or would like to ever see again.
One of those things you'd like to be able to forget. It was horrific. It was a horrific crime. The reason for the crime was horrific. It's just something that if you just sit down and think about it at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when you're all by yourself, it just almost makes you sick. It was a terrible crime.
Sheriff, I want to ask you to hang on. I have a question for you. When we come back, I want to know why it was important for you to go to Huntsville to talk to Brewer. I want to know why you felt compelled to do that. I want you to share that with us in just a second.
Your Houston Morning News with Matt Patrick continues.
KTRH News Time is 6:22. Former Jasper County Sheriff Billy Rowles joining us here this morning. Sheriff Rowles was the man who had to investigate the death of James Byrd, and I can't imagine. He has just told us that it is difficult sometimes to sleep. Sheriff, why was it important for you to visit with Brewer? Why was it important for you to find out if this man had any remorse?
You know, Matt, my district attorney at that time, Guy James Gray, really wasn't in favor of the death penalty. He's Catholic, and they just don't hardly believe in the death penalty. And of course, this is one of them cases that every now and then he said one comes along that needs the death penalty, and this is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he called and asked me if I'd go to death row, if I could get us in over there and visit with him. He just wanted to make sure we had it right. And obviously I wanted to make sure we had it right. And we did get to go over there and visit with Brewer for about an hour and a half, and also my wife wanted me to say a prayer with him. That's the main reason I went. She just thought that would be appropriate, and of course that's what we went over there for.
Sheriff, in your opinion, and this would be strictly your opinion, is this guy evil? I mean, if we had to define evil, if we were to look at evil in someone, I mean, this man is evil.
Yes, I totally agree. You could look him in the eyes and just tell that this guy's not like you and I. He's got some major problems, and these major problems are about to end.
Sheriff, how unusual is it after this many years behind bars for someone not to have any remorse?
You know, this is the first capital murder case that I've ever been involved in, and I could tell you, I would just think that after all these years sitting there with nothing to do, think about, that remorse would have to be in your heart. I mean, you'd have to have. I mean, it's just so far over my head not to have remorse that I can't comprehend that.
And I agree with you, Sheriff. It is difficult for us humans, and I don't know. I mean, this man, I believe, is just truly evil. I mean, there's something about him that is inhuman. If he does not have remorse, and you got it right, and tell your prosecutor that he got it right as well. Listen, Sheriff, I want to thank you for being so honest with us and taking the time this morning to join us. Former Jasper County Sheriff Billy Rowles. Real quick, what are you doing these days, Sheriff?
Man, I work for a couple lawyers in Jasper. My wife won't give me golf money since I retired, so I have to go back to work to try to make $1 or $2 where I can hit that little white ball.
God bless you, my friend. Thanks for taking the time, Sheriff.
Thank you. Might add, if everyone just say a prayer for Brewer's family and the Byrd family today, it's definitely appropriate.
We sure will. Absolutely.